And then, Snoozer is on a magical island. It is very beautiful, but kind of spooky. Snoozer is with other explorers.
Miss Snoozer, what are we doing on this island?
Silly explorer. We are looking for a sea monster.
If it is a sea monster, shouldn't we be looking in the sea?
What do you mean?
The sea monster would be in the sea, like the ocean.
Oh! I thought the sea monster was a sea monster. Like the letter C. I thought we were looking for a monster that was in the shape of a giant sea.
That's okay, Snoozer. Everybody makes mistakes.
So Snoozer learns that a sea monster lives in the sea and is not the letter C. And that's the end.
Well, it's over.
Well, what can I say? I can't bat 1,000. Hey, Checkers, are sea monsters real?
Well, that's a very broad question, Snoozer. Entirely depends on how you define sea monster. If one were to define sea monster as merely
a large or extraordinary sea animal,
then perhaps you could count whales and sharks as sea monsters. But I get the feeling you're more talking about those giant sea monsters, those of myth and legend.
Yes, like really big. Are there giant monsters that live in the sea?
Well, that sounds like a very interesting topic to discover on today's Reading Road Trip. Seatbelts.
Check. Backpack?
Check. Recording.
Oh, oopsie. Now I am. Recording.
All right, Snoozer. Sending in 3, 2, 1. And we're off. Autopilot activated.
So where are we going?
Snoozer, we are off to learn about sea monsters. Myths and legends from a bygone era, before the time of technology and access to information.
Wow, that sounds quite interesting.
Now, the idea of a myth or a legend comes from a story. When people didn't have a logical explanation for something, they might make up a story that explains it. Close your eyes.
I literally can't.
Still forget that sometimes.
Oh, I can't see.
Wonderful. Now just sit back for a second.
Ah! What is happening?
I don't know, Snoozer. Maybe it was a gust of wind, maybe a tornado, or maybe we are inside the jaws of a giant monster.
Wait, really?
No, of course not, Snoozer. But the fact is, you didn't know that because your eyes were blindfolded, so you had to make up a story or an explanation for what may be causing the van to shake.
Oh! So people used to come up with stuff to explain other stuff.
Yes, for example, maybe a ship went out to sea many years ago and never returned. Now, we could explain that by the ship succumbing to the treacherous oceans and storms, or we could say a giant monster climbed out and clawed the ship down into the deep blue sea.
Oh, so sea monsters are just made up.
Well, just because something's a story doesn't mean it's not derived from some sort of truth. We know from past reading road trips that there used to be much, much larger animals in the world than there are today. And we still have remains of those animals in museums. So sometimes those real animals are the basis of a myth.
Oh, like King Kong.
Exactly. There was a real giant ape called the Gigantopithecus, but it was only like 10 to 12 feet tall and it didn't climb the Empire State Building.
But what if it did?
It didn't.
How do you know?
Somebody would have seen it.
What if it climbed it at night when everyone was sleeping?
inaccurate. The Gigantopithecus went extinct roughly 250,000 years before the Empire State Building was built.
What if it never really went extinct?
What if I pulled up the map? We are headed for Rainbow Way. Once we cross through, it will take us right to our destination, Lake Erie, home of the mythical monster, Bessie. Along the way, Mrs. Hamilton will be showing you how to make a craft from her treehouse.
Really? Are we seeing the actual monster?
Highly unlikely, Snoozer. Remember, these sea monsters are nothing more than stories and myths. But I hope we can learn more about Bessie today, and hey, we might be learning about sea monsters sooner than you think, because here come the books. Now let's check out a few.
What did we get?
Well, Snoozer, here you go.
The Singing Mermaid by Julia Donaldson and Gentle Giant Octopus by Karen Wallace.
Well, those are two absolutely wonderful books that we are going to check out. Fiction and nonfiction reading.
Wait there just a minute. I have questions. Lots of them. First of all, I didn't know a mermaid is a monster. I thought they were princesses.
Not necessarily, and Snoozer, we're not exclusively talking about monsters. We're talking about mythical creatures of every kind, and by definition, that includes mermaids.
Okay. Second of all, octopuses are sea monsters?
We'll explain that in a second, because we are entering the book in 3, 2, 1.
Ooh! Mermaid Book! The Singing Mermaid. Checkers, do you think the mermaid will sing?
It seems highly likely given the title. This book follows a mermaid with a majestic singing voice that fills the ocean with music.
What's happening now?
A greedy circus owner is tricking the mermaid into joining the circus, promising her fame and fortune. But instead of living in the sea, she has to swim around in a small pool.
Well, that doesn't sound like fun.
And luckily, the mermaid makes some friends at the circus and gets along with the other entertainers.
I do like the illustrations in this book, though. It is so colorful and pretty. Checkers, I'm scared of this guy. He looks very mean.
I suppose. All he wants is money. He's the antagonist of the story.
Antagonist? That is a weird word.
It means he's in conflict with the protagonist. The Singing Mermaid is the protagonist, the main character we follow throughout the story.
And what does conflict mean?
Conflict is difficulty or struggle. The circus manager has taken the mermaid from her home and is making her unhappy. That is the challenge she has to overcome. And with the friends she makes along the way, she will overcome the challenge.
Yay! It is a good thing she is nice and has a lot of friends. That is another thing I like about the book. I like that the mermaid is nice.
Anything you don't like?
I don't like that the circus guy is scary.
That's natural, but remember, obstacles and challenges can be frightening at times. And it isn't always a person that can be scary. It can be scary to ride a bike for the first time, or...
Trying to jump over a volcano with a blindfold on?
Certainly. On to the next book. Okay, now we're in the octopus book. It's specifically about the giant octopus, or the Northern Pacific octopus.
So who is the protagonist in this book?
There really isn't one. This book is less a story with a beginning, middle, and end, and more an informational book that teaches us about octopuses.
Oh, okay. I like that too. Octopuses are squishy and cutie pies.
Well, you're probably wondering why we're learning about octopuses when today is all about mythical sea monsters.
Yes, octopuses aren't make-believe. Silly Checkers.
Think back to our discussion about the Gigantopithecus and King Kong. Sometimes there is a basis for a legendary creature. Well, there is a creature called a kraken, said to be 40 to 50 feet in length.
Checkers, I gulped.
Of course you did. An octopus of that size could wrap its tentacles around a ship and drag it into the sea. And that's what hundreds of sailors years ago believed. So legends grew of a giant octopus that pulled passing ships into the depths below, never to be seen again.
Well, I'm glad octopuses don't do that in real life. Do they?
No, but they do a great deal of extraordinary things. Giant octopuses don't attack humans.
Oofy.
But the book does show us how the octopus swims, how it eats, how it uses its tentacles, how it squirts ink to escape predators, and how it lays eggs.
I like how there are pictures on every page, so I can see what the words are talking about.
Right. And you can read through it a few times if you miss anything. And we are headed back to the road trip.
I am jazzed and hyper. Hey, Checkers, if the mermaid is the protagonist of her story, then am I the protagonist of my story?
That tracks, yes.
So who is my antagonist?
Well, the antagonist could change. I mean, one day your antagonist could be the weather if a storm is getting in the way of something you want to do. On another day, it could be...
Oh no! Dr. Devious!
Yes. It is I, the greatest antagonist of all time. I've hacked into Snoozer's recording system, and I have heard everything you have spoken about. And the answer is yes! Sea monsters are real, and I own one!
No, we're good.
Yes! We are going to Mrs. Hamilton's class to do a craft! Bye-bye!
Wait, just stop, please.
Hi, boys and girls! Would you like to do the Mrs. Hamilton craft just like me? Guess what? You can! Head to your local library for all the materials that we use in the craft. Plus, we have activity sheets, games, and a whole lot more. Your library might even have their very own snoozer. Come and see me! Anyway, back to the show. Are we there yet?
Yes. See ya.
Oh!
Well, hello, Snoozer. I've been waiting for you.
Today is a great day because we are talking about monsters.
Wow. I think I have a fun craft for you to work on today.
Really? What is it?
We are going to be making a Loch Ness Monster.
Oh boy, that sounds spooky.
Well, they don't really know what the Loch Ness Monster looks like, so I just kind of made an idea that I had in my head. So we are going to be needing these 2 sheets. We're going to cut out the pieces, and then I'm going to show you how to put it together, all right?
Yes, I wonder what they will look like.
I can't wait to see. All right, I think I'm ready. Just get the little picture out. Okay, now we really need to have our listening ears on, okay? Because there's some tricky parts to this. So, the first thing we're gonna do, oh boy, we've got these 2 pieces here. We're gonna put a little glue on the edge. Not over the whole thing, just at the tippy top. We're going to put one piece on top of the other. Hold it down for a minute. All right, now we're going to get the eyes. And we're going to put the eyes at the very top. Right on top of where the other bit of glue was. Stick the eyes on. It can be sticking up a little. And we're going to open that mouth and put in its tongue. Okay. Now we are going to glue this onto this. So I'm going to lift Maybe I'm gonna flip this over, put some glue right here. Kind of lift it up a little and stick this part on. Just like that. And then kind of have our monster like this. So we're gonna glue it. I'm gonna put a little glue maybe here for the end of our monster. And then you can kind of make a little rainbow. You can play with it. And then I'll put a little more glue here. You can make your monster any way you would like. Do that. And you can kind of bend it to make him go the way you'd like. Alright, if you want this, if you wanted to go a little higher, just move it. See? See my Loch Ness Monster, Susan?
Mine looks like yours! Except there is one difference.
What?
Mine is eating a hamburger!
Oh my goodness, Snoozer. You are so imaginative. I love it. Well, I had a lot of fun making a Loch Ness Monster, and I always like mine to look not too scary because I'm not really a monster person.
Well, mine is very scary.
I figured it would be. Well, I had a great time, and I guess I'll see you next time, Snoozer, okay?
Okay. Bye! I had my Loch Ness Monster eating a hamburger because he got hungry. Checkers, I know that Loch Ness Monster doesn't really eat hamburgers, but mine does anyway. Yummy! Checkers, when are we getting to the rainbow?
Right now. Ready to go in?
Ready!
Going through the rainbow.
Zot the Robot at your service. Today's book recommendations are
Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster by Richard Grassi. There is a Sea in My Bedroom by Margaret Wilde. Travel Guide for Monsters by Lori Degman. Harry by the Sea by Jean Zion. Gentle Giant Octopus, Read and Wonder by Karen Wallace. The Singing Mermaid by Julia Donaldson.
That is all for now. Goodbye.
My mustache! This will do.
So what is a Bessie?
Well, Snoozer, Bessie is a legendary monster similar to the Loch Ness Monster or Nessie. See, in the 1930s, there was a photo taken that looked like a real monster moving out of Loch Ness. Now, the picture turned out to be a fake, but that didn't stop an enduring legend. It continues to this day. There's been numerous sightings of this monster Nessie, but there's never been anything verified. Now, Lake Erie has their own version of the beast. It's called Bessie, and that is what we're coming here to look for.
Bessie and Nessie. Hey, that rhymes! That's funny. Well, this is one big body of water. I bet they both could fit down there.
Both Nessie and Bessie are very similar to a prehistoric dinosaur, which is called the plesiosaur. And and that went extinct many, many years ago. But who knows, Snoozer? Maybe we'll have a chance to see the actual prehistoric monster today. Well, Snoozer, you see anything?
Just water, no Bessie. Maybe Bessie is swimming deep underwater and only comes out at night.
Maybe. Well, I guess we'll just sit here for a while.
Monster!
What? Sea monster.
I knew it! Checkers, the sea monster is running at us! Why are you running?
Snoozer, when handling a sea monster of this size, it's best to stay put.
I didn't know you had sea monster experience. Checkers, have you slayed the beast?
What? No, he just tripped.
He?
Dr. Devious.
I planned the whole thing out. It was I that had been listening in on your conversation about the sea monster. Who hacked into your computer?
Yes, you already told us that.
But did you know that I snuck into the Checkers van while Snoozer was doing the craft?
No, actually.
Ha! I knew it. I was astronomically stealthy in my movements. I silently changed into a sea monster costume, carefully planning for the ideal moment to swoop down and frighten you and Snoozer.
Well, I have to hand it to you. That is a truly devious plan.
Oh, thank you.
All right, that's enough of that. Come on, Snoozer. Let's get out of here.
Wait.
What do you want, Mr. Greedy Pants?
Can I have a ride back?
You're sitting in the back.
Well, I had a lot of fun today. Dr. Devious is Snoozer's antagonist.
Well, today anyway. Hey, it's a good thing a sea monster wasn't our antagonist.
Oh dear, I would have fainted.
Well, Snoozer, I think that just about does it for today. We had a lot of fun learning about sea monsters, but now we've got our file, and we are going to send it off to the Fuzzleland School. I hope they have as much fun on today's reading road trip as we did. Until next time.